everyone, MiltyMan234 here, and welcome to another episode of Forgotten Media, where I dig up some stuff you may or may not have heard of. When it comes to movies based off of video games, they're always cursed at being terrible. Outside of a majority of the Pokemon movies, only very rarely are they considered to be good or decent. There's quite a lot of video game films we've had over the years, and they're usually considered to be terrible for a number of reasons, such as the lack of advertising resulting in a pitiful box office performance, but the most common complaint is how these films don't follow the source material right. And then there are films that haven't been made yet due to being stuck in development hell for who knows how long. So, yeah, not the best track record. And we're still going to be getting a lot of movies based off of video games, whether we like it or not. Nowadays, we got a sequel to the Angry Birds movie, and then we'll be getting the Sonic the Hedgehog movie coming out eventually. And there have been talks about Illumination Studios working on a Super Mario Bros. Movie. Speaking of which, it's finally that time to talk about that movie that I've been teasing about for months, and here it is, the Super Mario anime movie. Or its correct English translation would be Super Mario Bros. The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. It was released exclusively in Japan on July of 1986, and is considered to be the first film adaptation of a video game franchise. So, how does this first film adaptation of a video game open up? By being very meta, as it shows Mario playing a video game on a Famicom/NES console. Later, his TV starts acting up and spits out a princess, who is revealed to be Princess Peach of the Mushroom Kingdom. But their time together is short-lived as Bowser, or King Koopa, also pops out of the TV and kidnaps Peach while leaving behind a jeweled necklace. Man, we've already had a few minutes in and it's a crazy introduction for a Super Mario Bros. Movie. After the opening credits, we get to see where the Mario Brothers work for a living. And in this film, they're not plumbers, they're not car mechanics, and they're not firefighters. Instead, they just run a small grocery store. Man, we always knew that the Mario Brothers were plumbers in America, but it seemed like Japan always loved to throw them around into all kinds of different job positions. So hey, maybe next time we'll be seeing the Mario Brothers running a barber shop, or maybe a Panchico machine arcade, or heck, maybe we'll see them running a Kit Kat bar store. You'd be surprised with how many different flavored Kit Kat bars there are in Japan. Anyway, while Mario daydreams about Peach, a weird dog shows up and steals the necklace, and thus the brothers give chase. They chase the dog inside a warp pipe which teleports them to the mysterious realm of the Mushroom Kingdom. They are greeted by an old hermit who tells them that they are the chosen ones to rescue Princess Peach, and the only way to defeat Bowser is by collecting the mushroom, the fire flower, and the power star. And so the trio begin their quest to look for the three magical items, while Luigi spends most of the film being obsessed with digging for treasure and collecting gold coins. So far, the film is pretty close to its source material, but then again the Mario games don't rely on story that much. But even so, they managed to keep the simplicity of the games and somehow expanded it into a feature film, with some changes here and there, such as how Luigi is portrayed in this movie. Yeah, while the Mario Brothers have a little more personality in this film, Luigi is the most noticeable out of the change. Instead of wearing his white and green attire, like in the original NES game, his colors have been changed to yellow and blue. No idea why they did that. While Mario is the standard hero determined to save the princess, Luigi can be quite aggressive at times, even when he's obsessed with money and wealth. Now keep in mind, the only source material they had to work with was the first NES Mario game. The characters didn't really have much personality back then, and Luigi was considered just the second player clone back in the day. It wouldn't be until years later when Nintendo would make Luigi an actual character by giving him his own personality, making him the kind-hearted scary cat we all know and love. Anyway, back to the movie. While they begin their mission, they are guided by some mischievous Goombas, which leads them to some crazy encounters, Luigi eating strange mushrooms, almost getting eaten by giant piranha plants, and being attacked by Lakitu and his giant Spinies. I did find it neat how Lakitu summons the Spinies by using certain weather conditions with his cloud. While this is going on, Bowser is preparing the wedding for him and Peach, and tries to cheer her up by transforming into random Japanese creatures. Peach later tricks him into transforming into a teddy bear, which he proceeds to lock up in a box, but even that's not enough to hold down the King of the Koopas. Yeah, for some reason Bowser has the power to shapeshift, which is really weird because this is the only time in the movie this happens. Well, back to the Mario Brothers. After they escape a Hammer Brother, they succeed in finding all three magical items, and they begin to set sail to Bowser's castle on a flying pirate ship. Wonder if that was an inspiration for the Doom ships in Mario 3. They make it to the castle, chase after Bowser, and with the help of the power-up items, Mario manages to finish him off by grabbing him by the tail, swinging him around, and throwing him out. Yeah, just like in Super Mario 64. After this, Peach is restored to the Mushroom Kingdom, now that Bowser is defeated. And it's also revealed that the dog is actually Prince Haru, Peach's future husband, as she can only marry someone with the same jewel pendant. A very dumb law, but it's a fantasy film and all that. Yeah, Mario goes through all the trouble to rescue her from Bowser, and yet he doesn't get the girl in the end. Oh well, at least he's happy that she's happy. And then the movie ends with the Mario Brothers heading back home, as well as a humorous after the credits scene where it's revealed that Bowser and his minions now work at the Mario Brothers grocery store. The film was only released on VHS, which has gone out of print. Yeah, as if being Japan exclusive didn't make it even more rare. Surprisingly, there is some merchandise related to this movie, such as a picture book, a vinyl record of the film's soundtrack, and some panels containing some very naughty words. Cultural differences, I guess. For being the first film adaptation of a video game, it's actually pretty good. Sure, it does take some liberties here and there, but it's a lot more faithful than the live-action Super Mario film. Not to mention, it also has some self-promotion. And by promotion, I mean there are at least 2 scenes where it shows Mario eating some Mario-themed ramen noodles. The funniest one happens when Mario's about to use all the power-ups to fight Bowser, and then one of them magically appears and Mario's like, "Oh boy, Mario-themed ramen noodles, hoo-hoo!" But other than that, I found this film to be entertaining. It's amazing how elements from this movie would be carried over into other Mario games. The flying ships being similar to the Doom ships, Mario swinging Bowser around from his tail like in Super Mario 64, and Bowser's plan to marry Peach would be his big master plan in Super Mario Odyssey. Man, this movie was either full of inspirations or full of a lot of coincidences. Even so, Nintendo hasn't really made any official references to this film. The closest I can think of is an alternate costume skin for Luigi in the Super Smash Bros. Games, where it's kind of similar to his appearance in the anime film. So in closing, the Super Mario anime film is very entertaining. It's one of those rare film adaptations of a video game that's actually pretty good. And thanks to YouTube, people have been able to post it online with English subtitles. The version that I recommend watching is the one posted by MagicBlot1, as it has the best quality, as well as English subtitles. It's roughly an hour long, so you can easily sit down and watch through it, unless you're not a fan of reading subtitles. Well, that wraps up this episode of Forgotten Media, so this is Melting Man 234 signing out.